Hi faves, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 5 lunchbox ideas that you can make for your kids that are so simple and so easy to make. Your kids are going to love this. All of these are ready under 30 minutes. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first recipe we are going to be making is mackerel rice. Okay, so this is my recipe. I developed it from the scratch and I'm sure that you're going to love this. Okay, so the Holy Spirit gave me this idea and I'm like, yeah, I have to do this. So you're going to cut your mackerel fish into biteable sizes like this because you want it to be biteable, and then you want to remove the bone because for children they might not be able to remove the bone themselves. Now you want to season with some salt and some garlic powder. Mix this thoroughly to combine, and then you're going to let this rest for like maybe 2 to 3 minutes and then proceed to fry this. So in a pan you're going to add some oil and you are going to fry your mackerel fish. This is so that the flavor of the mackerel fish can be transferred into that oil. You're going to still use the same oil to cook your rice, so it's all going to be mackerel-y. It's such a very tasty recipe. I'm sure your kids will love it because everyone loved it in my house, and I'm sure that your kids will love it as well. So now we're going to just allow this to fry for a while. Once this is well fried, now we're going to take it out of the oil. Once it start getting golden brown like this, we're just going to take it out of the oil because now it is ready. Once the fish is out of the way, we're going to proceed to add our chopped onions into our hot oil. So you add your chopped onions into your pan and then you saute this or fry this over medium heat for a while until it becomes fragrant. And the next thing we're going to be adding is some tomato paste to this. You want to fry your tomato paste until it forms a crumbly texture, like until it is really fried, because trust me, if you do not fry tomato paste very well, it has this sour taste that you do not want in your food. So yeah, we're going to fry our tomato paste for quite a while so that we ensure that it is well fried. So once you get something that looks like this, I've been frying this for about 2 to 3 minutes now on medium heat. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep frying. Once you get something that looks like this, it's good to go. Now I'm going to add my pepper mixture at this point. My pepper mixture is a combination of tomatoes, habanero pepper, chili pepper, and local bell peppers, and some onions. I'll add some seasoning and salt and some garlic powder to this, and then mix this thoroughly to combine. Now for this recipe, you need a day-old rice, just like you do for your stir fries. So I have some leftover rice in my fridge from last night's meal. Actually, I cooked this for this recipe, but yeah, let's just say it's a leftover meal. So yeah, I'm just going to break this into that gently like so. You want to break it into it gently like so that the rice, for leftover rice, is more receptive to accept those flavors. So I'm just going to mix this thoroughly like this to ensure that it is well combined. You'd probably mistake this for maybe local jollof or maybe jollof rice even, but this isn't jollof, this is mackerel rice, because the flavor of that mackerel is in that oil transferring into the rice. So this is not jollof, this is not local jollof, this is mackerel rice. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this in there like so. Mix it thoroughly and then just toss it around a few times before adding my fried mackerel to this. This looks so good. If you're not careful, you'll finish eating this. Now I'm going to be topping this up with some uziza, also yeah, Izuza. I want to say Uzi. Just mix it thoroughly to combine, and then look at that goodness. This is so good. This is so so good. Like the Uziza flavor gives it a, like it takes it a notch higher. It takes it like from 0 to maybe 100 or something. So yes, you want to just mix the Uziza in the rice like so. Once this is ready, you serve this in their lunch box. For fruit, I used some strawberries and some blueberries, and I also served this with crackers. And then, yeah, this is it. So yummy, so nice. I'm sure your kids are going to love this one. Very easy to make, very simple, and very fast. Everyone will love it, but especially your kids. Please, I want you to try this recipe, and when you try it, please leave me a kind comment, because I'm sure that that's what you're going to bring back. Okay, now so bye. Let's move on to the second recipe. For the second recipe, we're making some yam porridge. In our pot, we're going to add some vegetable oil, some chopped onions, and then fry this for a while. You want to keep frying this until it becomes fragrant, the normal routine. Just keep frying and then add your pepper mix. Like I said, my pepper mix is a combination of tomatoes, habanero, chili pepper, and then local bell peppers and some onions. Now you want to keep frying this, and for seasoning I added paprika, ginger powder, seasoning, and salt. Paprika is for color. Okay, so I mixed this thoroughly in that stew base to combine, and then it was looking good and yummy, but I added a little bit of water to loosen things up, and then just continue to mix like this. At this point, I'm going to cover it and allow this to cook thoroughly. Once the oil is floating on top of the stew, I know that that is ready to go. I have chopped some chicken breast. I'm going to transfer those chopped chicken breast into the sauce, and then I'll mix this thoroughly to, form a good relationship, like I always say. And then I'll add some water to this. Okay, so this is the water that is going to cook our yam, but we need it to boil up a bit. So I'm just going to mix the water and the sauce together, cover it, and allow this to boil. Once this starts boiling like this, we know that yes, it is ready. We're going to add our cubed yams. I cubed this yam so that it is easy to mash, and it is easy to, just mix and mash like that. So I'm just going to let this sit well in that stew base, and I'm just going to cover it. And after a while, I think about 15 to 20 minutes, it was almost ready. So now this is what you want to do to add additional nutrients to it. You want to add your bell peppers to it. So I'm using red and yellow bell peppers. Now you want to mix and mash this thoroughly. This is a yumminess. Like this pot here, right here, is a pot of goodness. Like everyone is going to love it. Not only your kids though, but I mean especially your kids though, but everyone in your family is going to love this one. So just serve this in your children's lunch box, and their lunch experience is going to be memorable. So I'm just going to keep mashing this. I'm not going to mash all of the yam. I just want to mash just a few out of the yam, and this is so so good. Like, imagine your child biting into yam, then biting into chicken with a very delicious sauce. I call that big. You should definitely try these recipes. They are so so good. They are top notch. So this is what we have at the end. This is a pot of yumminess. Like I said, this is so creamy, so juicy, and so nice. So I'm just going to serve this in the lunch box, and for fruit I'll be using some grapes and then crackers again. Okay. All right, my children are going to love crackers. So I'm just going to serve this in their lunchbox, and I'm sure that your children will love this one. Like, this is a good lunch box idea. Now, so this is it. This is what we have. So yummy, so good, so nice. I want you to try this recipe, and when you try it, please leave me a kind comment as we move to the third recipe. Now for this third recipe, we're going to be adding some paprika to our chopped beef. Then we're going to add some soy sauce to this to marinate this. We're also going to be adding some cornstarch to this, cornstarch or corn flour, whichever one. We also added some baking powder, some oil, and then mix this thoroughly to combine. Now for this, you want to leave it overnight. So this is not the morning, this is the night before. I left this to marinate overnight. You just want to mix this, mix this until it is well combined, until all that good stuff is in it, and then just place it in your fridge overnight. And in the morning, chop up some bell peppers. I'm using yellow and red bell peppers because that's what I have. I'm also using some onions. I'll be cutting them into strips like this, just cut like that. And then in a pan, you want to add some oil, just a little bit of oil, so that the chicken can the beef can fry a bit. We're not really frying this beef, we are pan searing it. That is we are pan roasting or pan grilling, whichever one you want to call it. Okay, so we'll just transfer this to that, and then we'll allow this to do its thing, so just keep cooking in that hot oil. Once we have something that looks like this, we know that the beef is ready. We're going to add some chopped onions to this. We're also going to be adding some chopped habanero pepper to this, and then we're going to mix this up thoroughly to combine. Just toss it around until the onions, like, how do I put it, with, like, it's no longer crunchy. Just keep mixing it in the beef, and just keep cooking that in that. Once this is done, we're going to take it out of the pan, with the onions and the pepper and all that good stuff. Yes, so now the onions are no longer so crunchy. They release their flavor into the meat. So in another pot, you're going to allow the water to boil. You add some salt, and then you add your pasta. We're using spaghetti. You allow that to boil. Now, in that same pan that we took out the beef from, you add your chopped bell peppers to this. You will toss this around a little bit, just here and there, for it to cook for some time. I seasoned the veggies slightly, to just add a little bit of taste to that, and then I'll toss it around. Now, in another pan, you're just going to add your pasta to this. You add your seasoned bell peppers, and then you proceed to add your stir fried beef with the onions and all that good stuff. You add some more soy sauce to this, and then you mix it thoroughly to combine. Like, this is so yum. This is lip smacking. Like, this is really good. Your children are going to love this one. Like, those kind of meals that you make for children and then they will now remain. Nobody's going to remain this one. They are even going to ask for more. Just mix it together thoroughly like this to combine, and it's a winner. Everyone will love it and definitely ask for more. So yeah, so this is how to make our beef stir fry pasta. Can you guess what the next recipe is? Okay, so yeah, let's just mix it together like so. Once this is ready, you're going to transfer this to your children's lunch box. And for fruit, I served some kiwi, grapes, and clementines. I also added some power bars to this, and this is what we have. Looking yummy, so tasty and so nice. Very easy and delicious to make. Now give this to your child for lunch and they would be excited to go to school the next day. So this next recipe, yeah, is called yamarita. Okay, so you're going to cut your yam into slices like this, and then you're going to peel this, to just remove the outer layer. This is a very delicious recipe and it is so simple to make. Very easy to make. Like, it is ready in no time. This is something you can just wake up and whip up, and you'll be able to meet up for school. Your children will not be late, and very good stuff like that. So once you are done peeling the yam, now it's time for us to cut the yam. So typically you cut your yamarita as though you were cutting chips, but a fatter version of chips. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I'm gonna show you what I mean. Now you're going to cut this like you're cutting chips here. So you just cut and then cut, but a fatter version. If I were making chips, I would make it slimmer, but no, I'm just gonna make it fatter. Transfer this to some water so that the yam does not turn brown in color. So you transfer this to your water, and you just keep cutting like that shape. Once you have put it in the water, rinse it out a bit and add it to your pot to cook. You're just going to add that in a pot like so, and then add some water to this so that it can boil properly. Add your salt. Some people add sugar to yam. Your place is in heaven, I beg. Once the yam is well boiled, take it out and allow that yam to cool down. Yeah, so just take it out of you want to make sure that it is well boiled, because yamarita cooks really fast. So I don't think that using raw yam for yamarita makes any sense at all. Now in a bowl, you want to crack some eggs. I'm using 3 eggs. Oh, this is it. I ate eggshells in my egg. Okay, so I'm using 3 eggs for this recipe. You can use as much as you want depending on how much your yam is. So yeah, I'm just gonna crack the eggs into the bowl like that, and then I'll season with some salt, and I'll get some flour, and to that flour I'll add some salt as well. I'll add some pepper, I'll add some garlic powder, I'll add some seasoning, just a little bit, and then I'm going to mix this thoroughly to combine like this. You want to make sure that all the orishi spices that you have added has a good relationship with the flour, so that one part is not sweet and the other part is now bland. Now you want to whisk your eggs with that salt that you have added in it, and then you're just going to take your cooked yam, you place it in the flour, you like roll it in the flour, ensure that all the sides of the yam are well coated in the flour. Then you place this in your egg mixture. You ensure that all the sides of your yam are well coated in that egg mixture. You take it out. Now transfer back to the flour. Ensure that all the sides of your yam are well mixed in that flour, you can get a flat surface to be placing this, but just make sure that your yam is well coated in that flour. So now let's repeat the process. You take your yam, put it in a dry flour like this, ensure that all the parts of your yam are well coated in that flour, transfer it to your egg mixture, ensure that all the parts of the egg mixture are well coated in the flour. Now transfer it back to the flour mixture. Just keep repeating that same process. Now let's fry. In a pan, you're going to add your some vegetable oil and allow it to heat up a bit, and then you fry your yamarita. This yamarita looks like crunchy chicken. If I wasn't told, I would think that this is crunchy chicken. Yes, but this is yamarita. Okay, once it turns golden brown, you're going to fry this until it turns golden brown. Once it turns golden brown, just take it out of the oil. You can use a paper towel to remove the excess oil that might be coming from the yam. Just take it out of the oil and then place it on that paper towel. Like you can see me do, it is super easy, it is super convenient and super nice. Like in no time our yamarita is ready. This is one recipe that you should try because it's so delicious. If you are someone that lacks discipline, well, before you know it, you would have finished eating this thing before you even serve it to your children's lunchbox. Anyway, let's make a simple sardine sauce today. So we're going to add some oil in a pan, add our onions and fry for a while until the onions is fragrant. We'll add our pepper mixture at this point. Like I said, my pepper is a combination of tomatoes, habanero, scotch bonnet, and local bell peppers. I added some sardine, garlic powder, seasoning, and salt. I added more sardine because I wasn't feeling that sardine vibe in my stew base. So now I'm going to mix this thoroughly like this to combine. You just mix everything together. The flavor of the sardine infused in your stew base. Normally stew is very delicious. Now imagine sardine flavor in that. Just continue to mix this thoroughly like this, and this is what you have. But we're not ready because, like I always say sometimes, we're not basic. Okay, so once this has fried to an extent, you're going to add your ugu leaves to this. You want to add additional nutrients so that it's not just fry. Your children are still benefiting from the food. Okay, so there's fish, that's the protein, and then there's ugu, is good for iron, is very good for the body and all that amazing stuff. So just mix it thoroughly to combine like so, and once it is well mixed, your sardine sauce is ready. Now you're just going to serve this with your yamarita. For snacks, I made peanuts and then wafer and watermelon, and then the yamarita, I covered it and I served the stew in another bowl and then covered it, and this was a winner. Everyone loved it. Your children are not going to leave one drop because this is so delicious. This is like yummy in my tummy. Like I said, yamarita is very delicious. If you are an adult and you're not disciplined, you might even be tempted to also taste. Now let's move on to our final recipe. So for the final recipe, we'll be making this delicious meal. Now you're going to cut your chicken into strips like this. We're making chicken curry. Actually, it is so good. This is like amaze balls. This is like a very delicious recipe, addictive, very delicious. I know what I'm saying. Okay, so you're going to cut your chicken into strips like this. Just cut it into strips because you want it to be biteable. It's for children. You don't want to put big chicken that would discourage the children. You want to put small choppable things. Now you're going to transfer this to a bowl. I'm transferring this to my bowl now, and then you want to season this. For the seasoning, I used oregano, I used curry, I used seasoning powder, garlic powder, ginger powder, I used paprika and some salt. Now you're going to mix this thoroughly like this to combine. So you want this to marinate. Unlike the beef that we left to marinate overnight, we're just going to mix this in that and let it marinate for maybe like 30 minutes. So while that is marinating, let's prep our veggies. I'm going to be using some red bell peppers. I will cut this into strips. Thankfully red bell peppers are not as expensive as they used to be before. You can get this one for like maybe 1,000. I think I got this one in maybe like 500. I can't remember, but you're just going to cut it into strips like this, just cut your veggies into strips because the shape of the chicken is strips. So you're just going to repeat that process with all your veggies. So yeah, I'm just going to remove those white stain that you can see in the middle and then just chop my veggies like so. Once I'm done with the red bell pepper, I'll proceed to use the yellow. I'm almost out of the yellow bell peppers in my house, so this is the little I have, so this is just like leftover cooking. Now I'm going to chop some onions into strips like so too, just the same process I used for the veggies. My eyes odds at this point, I think I'm about to cry, but no, 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 no. Now I'm going to use my carrot and then cut the carrots in the same shape that I've been cutting the veggies. That's the long form. There's a way that you can make this recipe that you can cut it into cubes, but no, I'm making mine into the strip type because I feel like this would interest the children more. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to cut my carrots into strips like that. Yep, once I'm done, I'll chop some purple cabbage. This is optional, but I feel like this will add more nutrients to that dish because purple cabbage is like a nutrient packed something. Okay, so we're just going to chop some purple cabbage into that, but you can choose not to use the purple cabbage if you prefer. I don't know, but I'm going to be using it because I have it in my house, so cooking is made with leftovers sometimes. Now I'm going to be chopping some habanero pepper. Now some people will prefer to use white pepper in this recipe. Okay, I'm a Nigerian cook and then we need it in our food, so white pepper will not cut it at this point for me. Yes, you can add white pepper as well. It will also add flavor to the dish, but not as the major pepper in the food. Now in another bowl, we are going to add some corn flour or cornstarch, whichever name that you prefer to call this. You add enough of that into your bowl like that, and then you add some water to this to dilute. You dilute it gently in that mixture. Just keep mixing, mix it thoroughly to combine until you have something that looks like this. Okay, so when you get a milky texture like this, just set it aside. Now in another pan, you add some oil, a little bit of oil. Transfer your marinated chicken into this and then just toss it around a bit. Keep frying this until this pink color has become, I don't know, off-white. Until it is no longer pink, that's when you know that okay, your chicken is ready. Just keep tossing it around like this. So chicken breast does not take time to cook, it cooks like really fast. So just keep tossing it around and keep cooking it. Now you're going to add some onions to this, to just keep building flavors. Basically add your onions, mix it thoroughly like that, just toss it around, whichever way you prefer. I don't know. But at this point, my kitchen was smelling so good. Like the curry was just giving everything it needs to give. Add some water to this and then just give this a little mix, a little bit of mixing, not so much. Cover this and allow it to cook. Once that is ready, just add your chopped carrots to this at this point and then mix it, mix that in because carrot is the toughest veggie. Add your pepper at this point and then keep mixing. This looks so good and trust me, it tastes even better. Add your seasoning and salt, a little bit of paprika here and there, and just allow that to cook up for a while. Now I'm going to be adding my purple cabbage at this point. I'm just gonna throw that in and then mix it together. This is a bowl, this is a pot of deliciousness, like I told you earlier on. Everyone is going to love it, especially your kids. Now, once that purple cabbage is well incorporated, add your bell peppers. I'm using the red and the yellow. Mix this in that thoroughly. Just toss it around a bit. Let that sit well in the mixture. And once that is ready, because you don't want your veggies to wilt, add your cornstarch solution to this, and then you will notice that all of a sudden this thing will thicken up. Like, it will be thick and so yummy and so delicious. Like, you will not even, you will just look at, kilo day, this thing is so creamy and so delicious. So this is what we have finally. Your children are going to love this one. It is so good, so yum, so tasty, so nice, and this is the final outcome, a pot of amazingness. I want you to try this recipe for your children's lunchbox, and they would thoroughly, like thoroughly love it. So yeah, once we see something that looks like this, our curry sauce is ready. I've bought some basmati rice, and I'm going to be serving this with some basmati rice. For snacks, I served some shortbread, Pringles, and then for fruit, I served some grapes, carrots, and hoo la la, this is yummy. I also served some Skittles to this, to just to just spice things up. And I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you're going to try this recipe. When you try it, please tell me on my social media pages: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. I would love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.